Well, hello and welcome to I Love Gay today. We're going to deviate a little from our norm, and we're here with Antonio Liranzo, who's a performer and writer from New York City, but I think above all else, a poet.
Yes, hi.
How are you? Or I should say, has a strong love of poetry, which I gathered from all of your tweets and Instagram posts and kind
Yeah.
of pieced it all together.
Um, I'll dive right into it. I have been writing my whole life, pretty much since I was a kid,
Yeah.
and it's my favorite way to express who I am. But besides performing, because I do love dancing, and dancing is an art form for sure that I feel like expresses subconscious thoughts. And for me, writing sort of has become my therapy. And then last year when COVID happened, I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn all these thoughts that I have in my head and these mental health awareness, articles that I've been writing and make it into a trilogy of books.
Yeah.
And that's been my dream for the past year. I've released three babies and it's been quite the ride.
So these books were all written during COVID.
Yeah. So
Oh wow.
last year, I wrote my first book, Fallen Angel Rise in Phoenix, pre-COVID, so like January 2020, right?
Yeah.
And then COVID hit us in March. And then I finished my last three poems in March because you just saw the wave of like society, right? Where a lot of people were getting depressed. It was just a weird culture shock, right? Or a cultural reset, actually, in a very negative way. And I decided to publish it June 2020 for Pride Month because I was like, you know what? Let's make it gay. And as a gay man, I was like, I must. And yeah, I had a lot of good feedback. People were saying that a lot of my articles, I mean, my poems that I was writing sort of helped them with their grieving of COVID,
Yeah.
with their own like battles. Because a lot of people had to deal, being alone for a while, right? And that
Yeah.
could really trigger a lot of anxiety or mental health illnesses.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. But even before all that, I mean, you moved from Long Island and you moved into the big city, and but you've also got a lot of experience. I would say in the real world prior to COVID and writing books, where you were in theater and film and
Yeah.
all that.
Uh, yeah, life has been a whirlwind. I, yeah, in a brief summary, in the past 8 years, I went to school upstate, graduated, was on my dance team, and then I started doing theater for when I was like 22, 23. I'm 29 now.
Yeah.
And then I started working retail, and then I realized like that is not what I want to be doing. I started teaching dance. I got trained in acting with Chekhov. I started doing like film roles, and then it went into choreographing pieces, into poetry, and I'm sort
Yes.
of just like manifesting my dreams and making everything that I wanted as a kid into fruition.
Yeah.
And but I try to do my art in a way as a platform where I'm a big mental health advocate. I have my own anxiety disorder I deal with, and I want to make sure the art that I create and the platform that I create for, especially for queer people, creates a safe realm and hopefully motivates people to either get help or talk to someone.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. You said you're 29, so I think that by itself helps for folks to understand because you're one of those folks that understands not only how to create art or create these works or be yourself, but also how to kind of tell people about it. And you're very good with whether I don't care whether it was TikTok or Instagram stories and all of it. But I've come to know you through all of these different platforms.
I appreciate that, and thank you for doing your homework. I just want to say that on record right now, you're amazing for that. You know your research, but yeah, I think my brand. I'm not trying to say this in like a influential way, but like
Yeah.
I think what people grasp or gravitate towards me is that I'm very personal. I
Yeah.
have no problem talking about like my body dysmorphia all the way to feeling like a bad bitch one day to to partying all the way to being like, hey, I'm not having a good mental health day. And I think people are being like, yo, I'm going through the same stuff, like whether it's good or bad. And then it's showing you that like you could have a good life, but also there are going to be some bad days, but do the best and be a bad bitch.
Yeah. It's almost like you're an influencer, but you don't call yourself an influencer. I feel like almost we did not
Yes.
prep for this. We did not prep for this. It's genuine. But I
I
guess
love what you just said
I
that.
guess we're more on the same page than we thought because yeah, you express yourself with using the same tools and the same techniques because they're available to all of us, but you don't necessarily put yourself out there and say this is what I am, this defines me. This is just a way of expressing who you are, I think, which is a big difference.
I love that you just said that. Yeah, like literally, I've been trying to tell people this for so long,
Yeah.
and the way you just said it in that sentence is literally how I feel. I don't, I no shade, no shade to like people if
Yeah.
that's their work,
Yeah.
right? But like it's just not my thing, right? I don't want to be known as like a brand buying me out. I want to be the human vessel that I am and like be able to make art just to help others, but also to express my own self. And that's that.
Well, I think I strongly believe that where we're all going, you're kind of reflective of the future of where a lot of things are going. I think there's thousands / millions of us out there that are all sharing in a different way. And there is no one right answer. And it was just, it's almost like telling someone how to speak or how to act. And, it doesn't work that way. But the tools that are available, that just allows us to bypass some of those gatekeepers in the past. And you're able just to tell your story and kind of keep it going with an audience that I think loves to see what you're doing.
Yeah, I appreciate that you say that. I think we're in an era where people want like real stuff. I don't know, like real personal stories, right? I know I personally do. And I think we're in a good culture right now, a good movement, especially in like the LGBT plus community, where like, well, especially for gay men, where body image is sort of changing, like where the whole like twink or hot, muscle body is, dad bodies are being accepted, right? Or if you're thick or whatever you want to label yourself as. I love that movement. And I think we're getting away from like what a Hollywood or entertainment has sort of set up what social media shows or like how you should be.
Yeah. Perhaps it's because we're not governed by advertising, putting imagery in front of us, and that's all we see anymore. But now it's what they call user-generated content, but it's just people sharing who they are. And I think we're getting more and more accustomed to the fact that it's a very, very diverse world out there. And I think we're able to see that in a way that is changing culture worldwide.
Yeah, I agree. I actually just did my own podcast episode about body positivity, and I'm owning like my stretch marks because I used to be heavier, and I've learned myself as a 29-year-old gay man, like, I don't know, fuck the whole like B cut and six pack thing. Like, I'm proud of like my body shape, and that's that, and it's crazy because like I have a lot of queer friends, and the way they express their body dysmorphia or like their pressure, and a lot of them suppress their sexuality sometimes because they can't come out to their families. So when you add like body image on top of that, or like clickiness, and then all this other shit, it's so mind numbing and draining. And I'm glad that we're having this movement because I don't know. I feel like a lot of society adds pressure to us for no reason, right?
I agree. And I think it's nice to move past that. We're evolving in a positive way.
Yes.
But what's I didn't prep you for this either. Any exciting things for the future?
Yeah. So, what's so funny? I literally just posted on Instagram 2 hours ago about like my 3 books, and I have something big coming. Yeah. So I plan on moving to LA soon. And this is actually the first time I'm airing this news. So this is pretty cool. And then I really want to get into music. Since I've been writing, I'm working on a 4th book. That's going to take her time because like these 3 alone were a lot out of me. But I'm thinking about like an album concept. So we'll see what else I can do.
Well, if I can help with any advice along the way, I'm from LA, born and raised. And
oh, yes, please. Yeah.
That was my home until I moved to the East Coast a few years ago. So no, this is great. I really look forward to being able to actually connect with you in New York before you head out. So
yes, I would love that actually.
In the real world. So, but no, I just was really glad that you wanted to, be able to share a few moments of your time and let folks know who you are and share with our audience as well.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, when I found you online, I just want to say you have a very good vibration about you. It's very positive and very insightful. So when I saw your work, I was like, these are the kind of people I want to speak to, So keep doing your thing. This was amazing. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Like I said, look forward to connecting, and thanks for being here with us.
Of course. Thank you.
All right. Take care now.
Bye.